What is that? Okay. All right, y'all. We back at it with the desirable truth in the streets. This one is Beyond the Romance, a gritty look at modern dating. He's back in Austin, Texas for this one. Let's see what the fine folks in these streets have to say about dating. And make sure to sub on his channel, please. He's got some dope content.
How long have you been together?
Well,
10-year anniversary.
10 years married.
Been married 10 years.
Between the two of you, who would you say has invested more financially in the relationship?
Ooh, financially into the relationship. Me.
Well,
starting out.
So when I was a student, a medical student in like medical school, she was working as a nurse. So she like supported us through when I was making no money. So before it was her, and now it's me as we've grown older. So
Yes.
Now, what is it that he was able to bring, if not money, when you were making more?
Well, I think love isn't about money and shouldn't be judged on that. But I mean,
Oh, she's based.
an amazing person inside and out, like just a beautiful person. So I fell in love with him for him and not for his money. We went through, college together, then medical school together, then residency together, then fellowship together. Now finally he has a job 15 years later. But so now I'm taking a backseat and I'm gonna hang out now for a little bit.
Yo, here's the thing about that. Like, I respect how she's approaching it because it wasn't about the money. But the thing is that she saw him and knew the trajectory he was on, pursuing medical as a doctor. So, like, at the same token, she also knew that where he was going to be, like the potential. She kind of dated and based a lot of it on the potential, seeing that they kind of came up together. By the way, I also think generally, when you find someone and you come up together, you tend to have something that's more organic in that versus you making it, and then when people are coming after you after you've made it, it's so hard to discern who's sincere about who wants to be with you for you versus who wants to be with you because of your status, your clout, your money. And that was something I had to deal with and learn. Like, not everybody out here is really on me because they really want to. It's because like, I can give them access to this or get them that or whatever the case may be. So there's always pros and cons to it, man. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely, while she is pretty based on her take on all this, let's also keep it a buck that she saw where he was going to go, and her investment in him paid off because now he's a doctor and he's going to carry the financial load now.
Do you feel like long term it's always better for the man to be head of household with the financials?
No, I mean, I was head of household for a long time, and I think as long as
So you're saying she played the long game? Yeah, she played the long game. I'm not discrediting the fact that she loves him and that she said that it shouldn't be about money, but we'd be stupid to believe that she didn't factor that into the whole equation. You have to factor that in. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, he's great, he's wonderful, I love him. But she had to also sit there and be like, okay, he's also working towards becoming a doctor. I see it, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't doing anything, showing any ambition and was just kind of on cruise control, she might have loved him, but it wouldn't have lasted this long. Let's keep it a buck.
you have a good partnership, I think that's all that really matters, this partnership.
Yeah, there doesn't have to be like defined
Yeah.
roles and like who does what. I mean, we both have our side hustles, and like right now, like I commit more to like overall stability, but like she pulls in whatever she can, like, and it's all good. It's not like me versus you. It's not my money, your money. We keep it all together. It's not a big deal.
And I think you'll be happiest in a relationship when you're doing what makes you happy. And as long as your partner has you support each other, and that's all that matters.
What's your age?
30. 38.
What's the most challenging thing about dating in your 30s as a man?
I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. I've moved to different places throughout the country. And I feel like for men, it takes longer, especially as an entrepreneur, to become successful.
Yeah.
So I've almost backed off from dating just because I feel like as a man, it takes a little bit longer emotionally and mentally to mature, but also get to a place where you need to have a certain amount of money to bring a woman into your life. And for me, I'm still in that process of building. And so I've kind of pushed dating off a little bit.
Yo, I 100% understand this as someone that's been an entrepreneur. I had a career in radio, but I also ran businesses on the side. I get the idea of what he's talking about here. Essentially what it is when you're a man and you're in the entrepreneurial field, you're working for yourself, um, it's hard because one, you may not be financially at a place where you want to be so that you could undertake that and hold that relationship. But I think the bigger thing, the more what he didn't say that I'll speak on is that because when you're trying to be an entrepreneur and everything rests on you, bro, however much money you make per month is really on you, right? You can't rely on a stable check. It's how much you hustle, making the right calls and all that stuff to, equates into what your return is on that. So the big thing is if you have to give 25/8 worth of time in a week towards your business, you don't even have time to really even invest in a woman like that. And I would argue that if you're an entrepreneur and you're not like fully established as one, you're on that path to growing it into be something that can kind of just operate on its own and you just kind of oversee it. When you're in the building phase and the growing it phase, you can get distracted by a woman. It can become a complete distraction, and I think that's the dangers of it. And what he didn't speak to, but I know for a fact that someone has been in that situation, how that plays into. You might want to be with a woman, but you're like, yo, I got all this work to do. I got a bigger end game. I'm gonna put off the immediate satisfaction for the long game reward. And I think that's exactly what he's talking about here.
But a lot of women will say men don't have to think that they have to have it all figured out for me to settle down with him. Do you disagree or agree with that?
I completely disagree. Women say a lot of things, but how they actually really feel don't always line up.
Or how they care.
Maybe the woman I'm with is super okay with me being on that journey and working and hustling and whatnot, but as a male, for me personally, that just feels like too much pressure. And over time, there's a clock. No matter what anybody says, there's a
bro,
clock
speaking facts.
Into a point where eventually that's going to put strain on the dynamic, right? And the woman, I feel, will, or at least I will feel, like there's pressure, or she's like taking care of you like your mom.
What's your age?
I'm 22.
Bro, tell the truth.
How tall are you?
I'm about 6'2".
How will we know how we feel? It's not. He might have said that incorrectly. What it is, I know what he's talking about. It's women will say one thing, but their actions will show another thing. They'll say, "Oh, I'll be around to support you," but what he's saying is that sounds nice, but what ends up happening in reality is that there's like a time period, and then eventually she's gonna get tired of that shit. If she's having to kind of carry the weight, support financially, even though she sees that you're trying to grind to turn something into something bigger, there's always going to be an invisible clock ticking. And I think that's what he was speaking to. He might not have articulated that the best, but that's what he was alluding to.
And in heels?
And these about 6'3", 6'4".
So how tall do you want your man to be, realistically?
He doesn't have to be my height. I prefer about 6 foot or over, but
Hey, look, right on the bingo card. Where's it at? 6 foot. 6 foot minimum. Bam. If you got your bingo card, we got the 6 foot minimum already on there. Let's keep going.
I find that it's never the girl that has a problem with the height, it's the guy that does.
Why?
I don't know, you might have to ask the tall men that.
But 99% of women say 6 foot and up, including yourself.
Well, that's because I'm 6'2".
But even women who are 5'5" or 5'7".
Well, I can't speak for all that. I'm not asking for a man that's taller than me. I'm asking for a man that can handle me being taller than him.
So you think it's more in the man's insecurity?
Not always. I think everyone has their preferences, but I have found that in my case exclusively, that it sometimes can be.
So you feel like as a tall woman, you intimidate a lot of men?
I intimidate a lot of people, period.
I really want to know. I would love to interview like some tall ass women, like 6 foot, 6'2", 6'4", tall women, and I'm really curious to see what their dating history looks like compared to a woman that's like 5'5", right? 5'5", average height woman, whatever. I'm curious to see if they get more or less play than like a average or shorter woman, because there are guys who don't really like tall girls like that. even if they are tall. There's tall guys that like shorter women. They don't necessarily want a tall woman that's as tall as them. It's a weird dynamic where like short women want super tall guys, and then you'll have tall guys that don't necessarily want a tall girl either. And I don't know. I said before, I find it weird when you have like this 5-foot woman with a 6'4" guy. It looks like he's walking with his kid. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It looks very awkward. Like you're walking with your daughter. Yeah, that's your woman or your kid? Because like the height disparity, you're towering over her and you're a big guy, and you got this petite girl who's 5 foot. It just looks weird. I don't know who else thinks that, but I do.
Your height affected your dating life, do you feel?
More so when I was little. I was a little bit more, I wasn't quite as confident as I was now with my height. My last name's also Little, which doesn't quite help.
How old are you?
I'm really good. It's my birthday.
How old are you?
21.
She drunk.
Okay, 21.
Are you a virgin?
Yes.
Capping.
So why haven't you done it yet?
¿Por qué no lo has hecho todavía?
Estoy buscando a la persona.
She's finding the right one.
Can I be the right one?
Maybe.
So if I wanted to take you on a first date, where would you want to go?
Dinner.
How much?
Where?
How much?
Whatever.
Let's see if we get nothing off the bingo card.
How much should I spend?
¿Cuánto debería de gastar?
Here we go.
I really, I don't care. I don't care.
You don't care about money?
I don't care.
Why not?
Okay.
Because como tengo mi dinero.
I have my own money.
So
I have my own money.
Tengo mi dinero, perros.
So be honest with me.
She's so lit.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you.
If we were together, is my money our money and your money yours? Or is...
Juntos es su dinero será tu dinero y tu dinero será tu dinero.
No.
Your
No.
money is your money.
No, yo dije no.
Oh no.
What is it then?
Because it's together.
So you're... So your money is my money too?
Que si tu dinero también sería dinero de él.
Yes.
So if you wanted to spoil me as a man, what would you do for me?
Que si le quisieras como hacer...
She's so lit right now.
O sea, ¿qué le comprarías, pues?
Lo que él quisiera.
Nico, what's up? Goju, what's up?
Dilo en inglés.
No, dilo en
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever.
How much did your fiance spend on the ring?
What is...
Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a definitely impulse buyer, for sure.
How much did he spend?
Wait a minute. What just happened? Why are they walking around in some granny 1930s attire? I'm so confused.
Spend on the ring?
Oh, on the ring?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you have any ideas?
What?
10?
Honestly, talk about it.
Ideas of what?
What?
Whoa. Watch yourself, man. What are you doing?
Ideas of
Are you good?
I'm honestly perfect.
Why are you perfect?
Why am I perfect?
Yeah.
Oh, this is cringe.
Because let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Can I not hold a microphone?
No, you can't.
Yo, the fact that he, of all people, wants to hold on to that mic is ironic. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Of all the people, he wants to grab the mic. He wanted to talk into the mic. Oh, this is awkward, man. What? This is the exact reason why I thought about maybe I should do some street stuff in Chicago. You know what I mean? Get a Chicago people to chime in on some of these topics. But the minute I run into a situation where someone is drunk and just super handsy and all that, because y'all know some people get drunk and they get handsy and hey, what's going on? All in your face, you smell their breath and all. Like I'm swinging. Like you're too close. You're in my personal space. You know what I mean? So this is why I couldn't do this. But let's continue to see how this goes. Yeah, obviously we know it's fine, and that's totally fine. I'm not knocking him for his orientation at all, but it's just funny. It's just funny he wants to grab the mic. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can't.
I think I should.
No, I don't think you should.
You don't think I should?
Nah.
I don't think that you're gonna have a popping TikTok unless I open the fucking mic.
Well, yo, keep popping it open then. I got the mic.
No, don't pop it open.
You got the
what
lips.
I think is the
What?
content of what everyone
Pause, bro. Oh my god, this just went so left.
wants in Austin It's not giving anymore. Bitches aren't really serving the way that they should anymore in 6th Street.
How should they serve?
They should be serving a little bit different, but what are you bringing to the table?
Who, me?
Yeah.
As a person or what?
Yeah, what are you bringing to the interview?
Individuality.
You're interviewing some lame-ass bitch.
I'm interviewing you.
Bitch. Anyways.
What is happening? What is happening? Bro just called that girl and she just turned. What is happening right now? I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't give a fuck. They get a pass for shit like this. Cause if it was any other man saying this, they would have been caught a case already. They get away with a lot.
Bitch.
Look at this.
Anyways.
Imagine anyone else saying that. Old fucking Susie right here would have called the cops right there and had them hemmed up.
I'm sorry. Let's cancel it.
How do you feel about your wife having guy friends?
It's all good. I trust her. I've always trusted her. I mean, she hasn't given me any reason to not trust her. And I think that having that mutual trust and respect goes a real long way.
Yeah.
She's not going to be the one that like stays late with a guy that I don't know or like do anything that's going to make me worried.
Hold on. Here's the point. It's not the guy that you don't know about. It's the guy that's already there, that's been there for a while, that's been her longtime brother, that when you do divorce, she ends up sucking his dick. Yeah, like I don't understand why some of these guys are so oblivious to this whole idea that it's not the random guy that you have to worry about. It is the guy that she calls her brother or a guy that she's known, a childhood friend, that when you go through a separation or a divorce, next thing you know, she remarries that guy, or you find out that they have a thing after, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not the I don't know. It makes some of these guys don't make no sense, man. It's okay to trust your partner, but there's no need to have a male friend. And same thing with a guy. Like if you're married at this point, fellas, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a female friend, come on, bro. We know what it is. It goes for both.
And I try to do the same.
Yeah. I think trust is the most important thing in a relationship.
So do you feel the same way about him having female friends?
Yeah, I do too.
Now, what are some boundaries that you'd have put in place?
For what?
As far as like the friendship goes, what's allowed versus what's not allowed?
I think honestly we haven't even had to have that talk because it's never come to that. Like we both have trust in each other and we both, what do you think? You're spacing.
Yeah, I mean, part of my job involves like a lot of like female clients and stuff, and he's a plastic surgeon, so he does breast augmentations and like all that stuff. And I think back in the day I would have been a little concerned, like, oh my gosh, what if a cute girl comes in and flips her, you know? But this is his profession, and this is his job, and he has to. And other people smirk and smile, but to him this is like a normal, you know. Yeah, it's just my job, man. It's just my job, you know.
But surely he's got to be thinking when he sees a woman with a bad pair or, you know, some bad work done. That's the first thing that comes to his mind. You never say it though. So you don't think that his profession gives him that outside relief of experiencing other women?
No, I think it's his job. I think once it becomes your job, you see it every single day. Like, boobs are boobs, and he's here to fix them and help them. Or, you know, like he does amazing work, and I love watching what he, like, seeing his results and everything. So I don't think he thinks of it like that. So I try not to think of it like that, even though sometimes, of course, it's a little tough.
You also got to keep in mind, if he's a plastic surgeon, he's also seeing these women that are coming in with either some kind of an issue that he has to fix, or, you know, something going on. So it's not like you're seeing a how would I word this? It's not like you're just seeing a woman out with her chest out. They're there to get their stuff either repaired or put in. They have a small chest, so he's not like, I don't think it's not the same thing as seeing someone if you just out and some girl flashes you. You know, like, oh damn, you know what I'm saying? Like he's repairing and and fixing and all that stuff. I think it's a different mindset.
You know, and I'm a plastic surgeon, but I can't create better than what God made, and He already did perfection right here.
So you wouldn't do work on your wife?
She doesn't need it.
Thanks, babe.
Do you think that men or women have higher expectations for each other when it comes on to dating in 2023?
Ooh. I don't know. Honestly, I'm a feminist. I still think it's women, unfortunately. I don't really have an explanation for why. I just think for social media, every gender has an increased expectation for every other gender.
So what do men expect from women as opposed to vice versa?
I'm not a man, so I don't quite know how to answer that. But vice versa.
But as a feminist, what do you think?
What do I think? I like to think that men expect a woman who can handle them when they're emotionally vulnerable. I think that's something that is slowly coming back into phase in 2023, is that men also need to cry. Crying makes you sleep better, crying makes you feel better, and it's good for your skin. But I think there is a certain level of men should be able to let down their guard around women and not feel the need to put on a big facade that they do with some of their guy friends. I'm not saying.
Yo, like, okay, fellas, I know we got fellas in the chat right now. Have any of you ever thought to yourself, as a big component of you choosing a woman in your life, that you need to feel that she should make you feel secure enough to be vulnerable and be able to cry to her? Because I never have. That's never even entered my mind, that in order for me to pick a woman to be in my life, that one of the things that she needs to foster is this ability for me to be so comfortable with her that I can just end up my day today, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never, and I'm not saying like I'm all bottled up either, but I think I speak for most men as a man that, we just want a woman that makes us feel fucking comforted at the home. After a long day out here hustling, grinding, dealing with whatever you got dealing on, I want to come home to someone that's just sweet, nurturing, and caring. You know what I'm saying? Are we in agreement here? You know what I'm saying? Miss K, what's up, babe? Fellas, I would love to hear your thoughts on this point, especially, you know what I'm saying, about this, how she believes men want to be able to come home and cry to their girl and all this emotional stuff. I'm not trying to say that you have no emotions. You should be open to expressing yourself, but I don't think a litmus for us in this is that we're looking for a woman to be so, again, making us feel some type of way that we're willing to just come out and cry all day type of shit. Like nah, it's just like, I just want someone that's fucking sweet, caring, nurturing, loving, attentive, and these things, like if I have that, the rest is cool. I can deal with everything else. You know what I'm saying? It's really that fucking simple. It really is. Hello Moon, I hate you. Okay, I hate you back. Welcome.
Not in every case, but in some cases I feel like there is this whole masculine v masculine having to out-top the other guy, and I feel like around your significant other you shouldn't have to do that.
And the reason why there's been so much pressure on men, or they feel so much pressure to hold things in, is because
social media, I'd say. Men and women alike both have an outrageous amount of expectation placed on them. Like,
that's true.
Women are expected, from what I've seen on TikTok, once again, women are expected to be slutty but a prude at the same time.
Would you be open to dating a woman who didn't have a job?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that, like, to his point too, the world has changed so much that now, like, a standard, like, the average salary is $40,000 a year. That's not enough to support a wife and kids if it's a single income household. So the lifestyle that we want to have, which is, like, we've kind of talked about this, is we would like to be able to live a life where the women, our wives, don't have to work. They can if they want to, but they don't have to. And so to attain a level of wealth, to be able to provide that to them, have nannies for the kids, make life easy, that's still a work in progress. So that's the next step.
Now, Do you think a woman would be open to dating a man who doesn't have a job?
No.
Probably not.
Hell no.
And why is that?
Hell no.
Different values. Men and women value different things.
I think it depends on her age, right? Like, if a girl's 20 and she
Nah.
just wants to have fun, or even if it's a divorced woman in her 40s and she just wants to have fun, she doesn't care. But if it's semi-serious to serious, she's gonna want a guy to have a job because she wants stability and security.
It's true.
Do you think men and women?
I think you also just got to find a widow. You know what I'm saying? Like an older woman that just got a whole lot of money and she's just missing a partner and some D. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only way a guy could get away with not working, if you find like a real sugar mama who, again, is older, got bank, whether she accumulated herself because she's been working all these years, or she got it from a divorce, or a widowed, and she's got an estate, and she just wants a companion because she don't want to live out the last however many years by herself, alone, and she wants some young D in her life. You know what I mean? Like, that is the only scenario I think plays out where you as a man could not work and still like live. You could have essentially lived like the woman's life, if that makes sense, right? Where you just show up. You should show up, be fit, lay pipe, be attentive to her, make her feel like she's the only woman in the world that you are talking to or interested in. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the only way it works. Only way it works. I don't think it works in any other situation whatsoever. At all.
Communicate in the same way?
No, not at all.
How do men communicate?
Oh, you know what? Someone just said, Beach Mobile said she got OnlyFans. Funny enough, I there's no research to this, but I've watched enough of these podcasts, dating shows and stuff like that. I've noticed a trend, and I really wish someone can really dig into this like formally for research purposes, but I've noticed that a good amount of these OnlyFans women that are killing it, right? They're making stupid amounts of money per month and over a year, millions of dollars, that those women actually exhibit more masculine roles in that they will have a boyfriend who basically they support, and they take on the role of the man because they're just making so much money so fast. Like I'd probably argue that 99.9% of men couldn't compete with that. Even highly successful men, maybe the 0.001% of men that are millionaires or whatever, but like even guys that are making six figures ain't making as much money as some of these OnlyFans models at the pace at which they're making it. So they would still be a little bank in that relationship. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my point is I've seen enough of these OnlyFans models of these podcasts talk about their relationships as they said it, and you come to find out that their boyfriend, they're supporting their boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So maybe the only other way on top of old widow, sugar mama, is like an OnlyFans girl. If you meet an OnlyFans girl, she's killing it. You know what I'm saying? And she just wants some love, and she paying for all your bills, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Stink?
Kate, as opposed
Bobby,
to
what's
women.
up?
I mean, there's the traditional like concept that men communicate with logic and reasoning, and women communicate more from emotion. It's like the common conundrum where your wife comes home and tells you, like, she wants to tell you about your day, about her day, but you want to solve her problems when she's telling you about her problems. That's just a classic miscommunication, because women tend to connect through bonding over a little bit of, I don't want to say trauma, but like bonding over an emotion. So sharing an emotion, and then them, like, if she's talking to her girlfriend, they're going to be like, oh, that must have been so hard for you, give you a hug. That was a bonding experience. For men, that's not how men bond. Men bond by either sharing a story or
An experience.
by teaching something. Men communicate by teaching.
Problem solving.
Problem solving, exactly.
So a woman doesn't necessarily always want her problems to be solved by her man.
Not always, and I think that's why it's important, if you're a man, to ask. Like, a woman will usually tell you, if she has a problem, just ask, hey, are you in a mood where you want me to solve this?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Like, I get what bro's saying here, but that doesn't happen in fucking reality in most cases. You do that, hey, what's something on your mind? You okay? I'm okay. Hey, babe, are you sure? I'm fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know y'all can relate to that shit.